I'm Gus Downing, publisher and editor of the D&D Daily, and this is the LP News Network. We're here today with Robert Harling, CEO of Gatekeeper Systems, the international leader in cart containment and push-out theft solutions. Gatekeeper is widely recognized in our industry as a forward-thinking organization who provides loss prevention professionals with the tools necessary to reduce profit erosion. They know and understand that loss prevention leaders are constantly challenged with bringing fresh, new ideas to the table that will battle shrink and loss while improving the overall customer experience. It is this understanding of loss prevention executives' daily challenges that's allowed Gatekeeper to establish such a big presence within our industry. Gatekeeper Systems has already grown its client base and steadily grown it since we last spoke with them. This is due to not only the quality of the innovative solutions, but to their high standard of service, on which they've built their strong reputation. Their commitment to partnering with their clients to understand any challenges that exist every day and delivering a solution in a timely fashion has been the hallmark of Gatekeeper's success. By relentlessly researching, innovating, and introducing game-changing solutions, they're proud to say they've made a major impact with the national and international retailers in solving today's push-out theft and cart containment issues. Considering the industry just wrapped up another year marred by violence, including more shoplifting apprehensions turned deadly, having this discussion with Gatekeeper is very timely. Their shopping cart containment solutions not only reduce retail injuries and shopping cart replacement costs, but their push-out theft prevention solutions also avoids violent shoplifter confrontations that statistics prove are becoming more prevalent. With that, I'd like to thank Robert Harling from Gatekeeper Systems for being here today. Robert, thanks for being here.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Robert, our audience is aware that you and I have talked before and a couple of times, but something's changed. This last year has been one of the most violent we've seen in regards to shoplifter apprehensions that really turned violent. From your perspective, tell me what has changed since the last time we spoke?
Yeah, the rise in violence is quite disturbing in our industry, and according to PushoutTheft.com, about 8% of shoplifter apprehensions resulted in violence, and that data point was from 2 years ago. So going into last year, that data point had nearly doubled in that regard. And push-out thefts, they're on the rise, and when a push-out theft occurs, there's that opportunity or possibility for a confrontation, and of course the violence that goes along with that. With Gatekeeper's Purchek solution, it eliminates that opportunity for a confrontation and thereby eliminates or greatly reduces the violence.
Can you tell us exactly how does Purchek work?
Certainly. Purchek is the only anti-theft in-store solution with an integrated locking wheel. Utilizing Gatekeeper's patented locking wheel technology, it stops the cart at the door if a shoplifter attempts to push it out without first purchasing the merchandise. A normal shopping trip, customers completely unaware of the existence of that solution, but a shoplifter who's determined to bypass a staffed register, the cart will stop at the door, eliminates the need for an employee to confront that shoplifter, and thus dramatically reduces the risk of violence.
How does it work?
So the system works in the sense that it will determine that a cart has entered the store, and then that cart will need to go through a staffed register, whether it's staffed permanently or whether employees come and go. That device will determine and be set accordingly depending on how that register is used. In the case of self-checkout registers, there's a series of algorithms that will determine that that cart exhibited behavior indicative of a paying customer. And if that cart merely goes through those areas, carts will lock at the door, trigger an alarm, trigger a video, and then the shoppers, unaware of that system, but shoplifters, it's an uncomfortable experience.
And I would assume that with that system, it also enables you to give it a specific identification of each cart.
Certainly. Every cart is serialized in that regard, and we get data from those carts and those events. And it's the use of that data that makes it very useful for the customers to track the shoplifter behavior. In the case of repeat offenders, they can tie it in with their incident management systems as well to track the scope of the problem, how big the issues are, if they're opportunistic theft or they're ORC offense as well.
How often do you get that data? How do you collect that data?
It's collected via our servers with a connection to the system, and that data is coming in continuously. So as these events are occurring at the various stores around the world, that information's coming in and being evaluated. And in the case of some shoppers or some customers that utilize our video review system, we actually are tied into those systems and we are reviewing the video and helping classify and keep track of those events for our customers.
In a real-time methodology.
Exactly.
So you're actually tied into what's going on in the store with that cart and tying it into the video.
Yes,
okay.
That is correct.
So that's an add-on. In what about bandwidth? How does that impact the retailer?
Well, what we've done is we've sized our video accordingly to make it have a minimal impact on the network and bandwidth in that regard. And what we look at it is it's an incident in the sense that that video is very specific to that incident and is tied to that incident. As a result, it has a minimal impact in bandwidth. In most cases, our systems are completely standalone, so it's not encumbering our customers' network and network connectivity and bandwidth in that regard. And then those events can be reviewed via our applications online, via mobile app, as well, and so regional LP agents can easily and quickly look at each one of those events, review them, and add some notes about those events.
So on a mobile or a laptop, the regional LP manager has access to that data 24/7, so to speak.
Exactly, exactly. And then by offering them a platform where they can add additional information about those events, again, if it's a repeat offender or if it's tying to their incident management system, it gives them a platform to do that. And in some cases, they can actually enter and set up the system to where it will notify others in their organization of these events. And some executives use that as a platform to inform senior management of the value of the application. In turn, they're showing the ROI associated with the system and the return on investment for each one of those installs.
So you're working with other integrators and manufacturers in order to incorporate your software in their design as well, if I'm not mistaken?
Most of the software platform is a proprietary Gatekeeper Systems platform, but we do have other partners that we partner with in the case of video cameras and things along those lines.
Okay. You know, aside from your technology being used strictly for shoplifting prevention, it's my understanding your product is also used to prevent theft of the shopping carts themselves. Can you talk to that world, so to speak?
That's correct. Yes, the same locking wheel delivers cart containment technology as well. And cart loss is a significant problem. And most loss prevention executives are unaware of the scope of that problem. And the reason for that is the responsibility of shopping carts and the replacement of shopping carts falls under other departments. In most cases, procurement is managing the replacement of those carts. Often they'll receive requests from store managers and they'll simply purchase more carts, assuming that the root cause of that problem are damaged or destroyed carts, when in actuality that's rarely the case. And considering that shopping carts cost retailers anywhere from $125 to $150 each, a grocery store with 2% gross margins is looking at about $6,000 in sales to generate enough profit to purchase a shopping cart. And if you extrapolate that number over a 250 store chain, you're looking at profit margins associated with $1.5 million in sales to replace one cart at each store.
Sure.
And of course their losses are much greater than one cart per store.
And you've also have, from what I've seen in the news, some cities that actually will fine or are trying to pass, you know, we'll fine you this much if we see that many carts out in our city. And I've seen that that's been a little bit of a headache over the last year or two in the news.
You know, it's unfortunate in our regard because really for us we want to see, you know, customers that have a true financial need, i.e. meaning that they're losing carts and they need to buy the system. But you did touch on there are municipalities out there, and over the last several years we've seen a rise in municipalities passing ordinances that dictate that there needs to be some sort of program in place to retrieve carts, keep carts on the site, and in some cases have systems in place to do just that.
Because you can see them all over the place in some cities. I mean, it's, they're used and stolen, and, it seems to be a little bit of an issue, but interesting. I can see how the LP executives may not have the visibility into the losses of the carts, that type of loss. Let's talk about the general liability issues. I mean, I understand that you also have a cart manager solution that not only helps to prevent general liability claims, but also employee injuries. Can you explain that?
Yes, cart collection is a slow and in some cases hazardous and often physically demanding process. With the use of our cart manager, it minimizes the risk of any potential injuries associated with wrestling with those carts to bring them back up to the front of the store. So Cart Manager is an automated product, motorized device that's easily managed by an employee, speeds up the collection and retrieval of those carts, minimizes the risk of any employee injuries and potential damage. Retailers deal with shopping carts running into parked cars as well, so that's a potential hazard for retailers. By the use of Cart Manager, you minimize that risk. And cart managers in the industry are kind of commonly known as cart pushers, mules, cart collectors, cart retrievers. I mean, basically, and in simple terms, cart manager is a retail productivity tool. It's going to minimize the risk of injuries and workers' comp claims. It's going to minimize the labor necessary to collect those carts as well.
Now, is that for only large retailers?
No, what we see is with the labor savings associated with Cart Manager is that it's a benefit for both small and large retailers. Given its price point and ease of use, the payback is rather quick, and small to mid-sized retailers will experience those savings as well in rather short order. And in the case of retailers and shopping carts, industry studies point to the fact that and this is something that all retailers know, is that shoppers that use shopping carts tend to spend more, which highlights the importance of having shopping carts available for shoppers, and really highlights the need to really collect those in a timely manner. Cart Manager can do that and provide a platform that can do it rather quickly. Most of our customers see a 50% reduction in labor, coupled with the decline in workers' comp claims and employee injuries. And then given that the system's easy to use and it's easy to control and return those carts to the front of the store, it reduces the likelihood of accidents and incidents in the parking lot as well.
Gatekeeper Systems has a reputation of being innovative and timely with solutions it offers to the industry. I mean, according to your predecessor, Mike Lawler, the former CEO, one reason for the continual innovation is to ensure your solutions are installed with the customer experience in mind. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Certainly. We know that our solutions need to deliver viable, quantifiable loss reduction, and they need to do so without disrupting the good shopper experience. And it's that reason that we spend a lot of time and attention not only on the design and development of the solutions, but in the layout and implementation and installation of these systems to ensure that good shoppers never even see or notice the system. But the shoplifters, we want to make sure it's an uncomfortable experience so they don't return.
Yeah. And where can customers find out more?
Customers can find more at gatekeepersystems.com. Plenty of information there, and engage with our team. We're always willing to share information and share our experiences and the value that we've delivered for retailers. And thank you for having me. We're excited about 2019, and we're looking forward to showcasing our many innovations throughout the year.
Great. Thank you for being here, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to thank you for watching, and until next time, let's keep them all safe out there.